So once you are there on the YouTube, just type over there good afternoon so that I know that you are there. Okay. Okay, so today we will start with our first practical on After Effects, and that will be related to the motion tracking. Motion tracking is one of the major parts when it comes to visual effects. And motion tracking, what you do is that you track any part of a video, okay, and replace it with whatever you want. And there are many uses of motion tracking, okay. It is used in sky replacement. It is used for head replacement. It can use for facial tracking. It can use for the 3D tracking. So many different for so many different things you use the motion tracking. Now what I will do here is that I will bring some footages, and then we will from those footages we will learn how to do the motion tracking. Okay, so as you know how your screen works, you have to import stuff. To import in After Effects anything, you have to go to File, Import, Import File or multiple files if you want more files, or multiple files, or File if you want in a single file. Or you will see whenever you will open After Effects, you will see this project window blank screen. So you can double click on this blank screen. When you double click, it's the same thing. So I will double click, I will go to my folder wherever I have this, my files, okay. I have all these files which I will use for motion tracking. I will select all of them by selecting just like this. I will press import button, okay, and then I will press import here, and then my file will be imported, okay. Now as soon my file will be imported, you can see that I have these files here on your screen. Okay, so you will see that your files are here, and this is how it will work. Okay, so I have here some footages, like some pictures and some footages. Okay, so basically let me show you all these footages one by one. This footage is basically if you double click on any of any footage, it will open in a separate window. Okay, can you all see this the screen? Can you all see the After Effects screen on your window on the YouTube? Because some of you are saying that they cannot see the screen. So I think the whoever cannot see the screen, maybe it's the issue. So you can with that. Okay, some of you cannot see the you can restart, like you can refresh, okay, your YouTube, because most of you can see it. Okay, so just refresh it and then you will be able to see, because all of the other students can see it correctly. There is no issue with them. Okay, now if I double click on any one of the footage, you can see that that footage will be played, okay, on your screen, just like I'm doing that. So I will, when I will double click on any footage, it will move me into the footage area, and in this footage area I will be able to see the footage. This footage area is only to view the footage. Okay, I cannot do anything here, I can only view. So when I press spacebar, I can see the footage just like this. Okay, so this is how you can view the footages. If I will double click on the other one, so it will open the other one. It is something like this. Okay, so you will see something like here. And then if I click on this one, so you can see this footage here. Okay, basically it's a mix of footages, so different footages inside one footage. Then I have this one. Okay, clear? So now if I will close this footage area, I will go back to my composition here. Okay, now this window you will always see whenever you open the After Effects for the first time. Now one thing you have to do here is that you have two options. Either make a new footage, new composition, completely blank composition. What is a composition? If I click here, just notice it will ask me what size of the composition you want. What is composition? It's like a document window or a blank window you open in Photoshop or Illustrator to work on. So it's like a working area where you will work on your project. Okay, here are some sizes. Okay, you can go to preset, you can choose your preset here. Okay, so there are a lot of presets here. The one that I'm using right now is this one, HDTV 180 1920 1024. Everything will be set up. This is the time. Okay, now my timing right now is 36 seconds. Okay, this is hour, this is minute, this is 30 seconds, like this is more like seconds. The last one is nanoseconds. Okay, right now my whole footage is 36 seconds. If I will press OK, so it will give me a 36 seconds blank window. Actually, I have turned on the alpha on, the checkerboard on. You can uncheck this or turn it on. This is for transparency basically. Okay, if you're working on a green screen or blue screen. So in this case, I don't want it, I will keep it. So this is how you can make a footage. Okay, and then you can start you can make a composition, sorry, and you can start bringing your project inside, your files inside. But I don't want that. I want a different method of doing it. So I will go to this composition. You can see that this composition is made here, and this is the composition icon. The name is comp1. It says comp1 here. You can change the name of it. If you click it here, it will show you what are the objects inside this. Right now it is all empty. Now what I will do here is that I don't want this. I will delete this one. I will use new composition from footage. If I click over here, it will ask me which footage I want. I already have imported this one. So if it is not imported, then I can like work on in a different way. But in this case, what I will do, I will choose my footage like this one. This footage I will choose it and drag this on here in this window. As soon as I will drag it in this window, it will create a new composition based on this video. The size automatically it will create, the length of the footage automatically it will do, everything automatically it will adjust. So you don't have to worry about. So this is one way of doing that. Now if I will delete this one, let me delete this. Let me show another method. Another method of doing that is that you take your footage and drag this to this composition area, the one which is on the bottom. Okay, it's like Premiere. Okay, it's like Adobe Premiere. Okay, but mostly in After Effects you do the visual effects. Okay, now I will take this footage and drag it to this new composition, and it will do the same thing. So another method of making a new composition. Okay, now the difference between the After Effects and Premiere is that Premiere is for editing, After Effects is for visual effects. Okay, so there is this kind of a difference, but you can still do the editing inside the After Effects, but it's not that great. You can do still effects in Premiere. It's not that great. Okay, because Premiere is more stronger in editing, After Effects is more stronger in effects. Another method of making composition is that one way is to drag it here, other way is to drag it here. Third method is to right click, new composition from selection, and you can see it's here. All of them will do the same thing. Now the name of the file was footage4, so the composition name is also footage4. So I can rename this one. I can type here hat replacement. So I know this footage is about hat replacement. Now this footage, I want to do a motion tracking. Now what is a motion tracking? Motion tracking is you take any part of the video, either it is a moving object or a still background object, a moving person, okay, or a person standing, and track him. When you track him or her or any object, that object will always, your track point will be always on that particular object, and you can replace that object or place anything over it with the help of that tracking point. Okay, so let's go with one of the few, I will share you one of the like a short introduction about it. Okay, and so that you can understand what is a motion tracking. So let me open it for you. Okay, now on your screen you will see motion tracking here. Now what is a motion tracking? Motion tracking basically, when you import a file to After Effects, your computer has no idea what is going on in the footage. Like we imported all these 4 footages and we don't know what they are doing. Okay, so it has no concept of motion or direction unless you define these things. So when you import them, After Effects don't know what to do. Do you want to do color correction, chroma key, or motion tracking? It doesn't know. You have to define when to do the motion tracking. Now what motion tracking does is follow a point or a points. You track a point of an object inside your After Effects, and that motion track will follow that point. Wherever that point you are tracking is going, After Effects will follow that also. Okay, so this point you designate through the tracking tool. There is a tracking tool we will do today. Okay, different kind of tracking we will do today, and see how we work on it, and extrapolate the motion of that point across the time the point is in the view, and it will keep on moving to following that point till the video is there. You can track position of an object or a person, scale of an object or a person, or rotation of an object or a person. Okay, so motion tracking has many uses. Here are some examples. Combining elements filmed separately, such as adding video to the side of a moving city bus or star to the end of a sweeping van. Sometimes in advertisement you see that there is a bus passing, and on the bus there is an advertisement, very clear, very nice looking advertisement. Usually when someone is shooting that advertisement, while shooting he don't have the advertisement on the bus. The reason is that because there will be a lot of bad lighting, so that advertisement will not look nice. So they will only film the bus without the advertisement. But in the After Effects, they will track that part of the bus, and that part will follow the bus. And then you place that point with the advertisement. So that advertisement will follow the bus and it will look like it was exactly there. Okay. Another example is that star to the end of a sweeping wand. Like in the movie Harry Potter, you will see Harry Potter is swinging his magic wand, and at the end of the magic wand there is a sparkle color, or stars coming up. So that is a motion, like a position tracking. Okay. Now animating a still image to match motion of an action footage, such as making a cartoon bumblebee sit on a sowing flower. Now suppose you have a real footage of a flower, which is because of wind it is moving left and right, little bit moving left, little bit moving right. But you have a 2D cartoon and you want to that cartoon to be sit on the flower, but the flower is moving, so the cartoon is not moving. So what you will do, you will motion track the flower, and that motion track will follow the flower, and that following motion track you will assign to the bee. So wherever the flower is going, the bee will also follow it. Okay. Animating effects to follow a moving element, such as making a moving ball glow. So also it applies on anything that is moving, like a ball. When a ball is moving, okay, you can select that ball and that ball will start glowing. When you will track it, you can put the glowing effect on it. Linking the position of a tracked object to other properties, such as stereo audio pan from left to right as a car races across the screen. Other thing is very technical. This is what, suppose you have a car which moves from left to right. So you can track the car. So the car will be tracked. It will move from left to right, and that tracking information you can put on the audio. When the car is on the left, the motion track will be on the left, so you can hear from your left ear from the speaker. But when the car moves to the right, the motion track will move to the right, and the audio will also move from left to right with the tracking point, following the tracking point. So you will start hearing from your right ear. So from left ear to the right ear, it will seems like the voice is moving. So in the audio, you can also do the motion tracking. Okay, stabilizing footage. Stabilizing footage means, like, suppose sometimes what happens is that your footage is very shaky. When you were recording, your hands were shaking. Okay, so you can fix that with the help of motion tracking. Now, footage to remove the jostling, camera shake of a handheld camera. So the same thing which I told you. Okay. Now, how it is done? How After Effects do the motion tracking? To perform the motion tracking in Adobe After Effects, you are going to need, first of all, Adobe After Effects. Next, you are going to need a video clip or some sort of clip that has motion in it, like the one that I showed. Then we will go to the window, motion tracking, and then we will do the motion tracking. Once you have the tracker window open, you can begin the process. This is what we will do in today's class. Okay. Now, here we have this option here. This is how you will do the motion tracking. Okay, now motion tracking you can apply on the footage directly. Okay, the information, and then you on the object you can put it after that. But that's not recommended. You have to do the you have to track the motion, the video. Then that information you can put on a null object, which is like a like an external object, or sorry, an object which is basically invisible. You don't see it when it is rendering, but in the After Effects it is shown. But outside After Effects, where your video is finished, it will not show. Okay. Now with the tracking window open, you need to define your motion source. You will select what you want to track. You will get this kind of points: A, B, and C. Okay. Now this is what this is. The inner one is basically the small one here is the attach point. Okay. Attach point is what? This is the tracker. Like this is where the tracker information will be. This is the effect control point to synchronize with moving featured in the track area. Okay. So whatever you want to track, you have to put this attach point there. Okay. Search region is this bigger, sorry, like this part, the smaller part. Okay. The smaller circle, that's the smaller square is the search region. What does the search region do? It locates the track feature. Wherever it is going, it will, like your target area is going, it will go with it. The outer one is the feature region. The feature region will look for the information. As bigger your feature region is, your tracking will be much more better. Okay. So these are some steps how to do it, but we will do in the class, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So let's move to our After Effects back, and then we will start the motion tracking now. Okay. Now we have this footage. Now my goal is to track this person, okay, and put a hat on his head. Okay. So one important thing you have to make sure is that when you are tracking something, I want to track his eyes. Okay. So if I'm tracking his eyes, I have to make sure nothing is covering his eyes. So if I go a little bit forward, so you can see nothing is covering his eyes. Okay, till now. But suddenly at some part, he got a little crazy and then his hand starts covering the eye. So if something is covering your tracking point, that means it will not track that person, it will not track that person, then you have to manually move it. Okay, so that will take a bit of a time. Clear? So we have to be careful with that. So I think the better will be this lady over here to track, because nothing is covering her. Okay, so if she is moving, nothing is covering, but only issue is that she is moving her head. So when she is moving her head, so suppose if I'm tracking her eye, this eye, so when it moves, I will not be able to track the eye. So in this case, what was the best part? I will look for the whole footage. Okay, let me kind of render the whole footage here and see where I can choose the best part. Okay, now the best part will be, I think, this guy, but I will not use his whole footage, because if I will use his whole footage, what will happen? It will not track it correctly. Okay, so I will only track till the part where his hands are not on his eyes. Okay, so let me go here. It's kind of hanged, I don't know why. Okay, now I will move a little bit forward here. Now to play any footage inside After Effects, what you have to do, you have to press space bar on your keyboard. Okay, because if you will move this, it is not like Premiere, it is not smooth like Premiere. What will happen is that it will not play the actual footage. So you have to make sure you press space bar, so it will pre-render your footage. Like if you will see, it is becoming green over here. Green means it is pre-rendering. So if it will pre-render, that means it will play smoothly afterwards. Okay, otherwise it will not play. So you have to press space bar if you want to see your footage. Okay, so keep that in mind. So let's see, it is till this much, like it became green. That means if I will move my playhead, so there will be no issue. So till now everything is fine, nothing is covering his hand. Here he covers his hand. So till here I will track it. Okay, now I don't want this part, I want to remove this part. How I will do that? I will take this work area. This is called work area. If you will see on the top, starting work area, ending work area. If I will move this work area closer, just like this, okay, till here. So it will only work in this part, okay. But this is all wasted. So what I will do, I will right click on this work area and choose trim comp to work area. What it will do is that it will remove everything, it will trim everything which is outside the work area. So I will press here trim comp to work area, and it will only show me whatever is inside, which is a very short video, which is like a 3-second video. Okay, and it will also not take time to uh, motion track, because motion tracking takes time. If your computer is slow, it will take time. Now I will go over here. Okay, it will track, but there will be another issue that he's moving very fast and there is a motion blur, but that might not be a big deal. Now how we can do the motion tracking? All the effects over here, right now I'm using a default workspace. Okay, this is actually what you will do. So you will what you will use default workspace. When you use default workspace, you see all these options here, and there is one option here called tracker. If you do not see tracker on your screen, so you have to go to the window and click on the tracker here. Easily you will see the tracker. Okay, so now okay, so I think there is one thing. Let me turn off the application mode and turn on the desktop mode. Now you will not see not now you will not get the issue. I think this is because of the like my option. I was using in like a I was using application window. Now I have turned it to desktop view. So now you will not have that issue. Now you will able to see it. Okay. So now as I was saying in the tracker, if you will see here, uh, there is like there is a tracker. If you don't have a tracker, you have to go to the window. Then here you will see the tracker. Okay. So if I will click on the tracker, I will be able to get this tracker. Okay. Now I want to track his eyes over here. Okay. I can track one eye. Okay. So how to start tracking? Here you have different kind of tracking. So the tracking that I want to use is track motion. I will click on the track motion. As soon I will click on the track motion, you will notice I'm not in the composition anymore. It will move me to the footage, because you cannot do the tracking inside the composition. It will move you to the footage. Now inside the footage, let me make it a little zoomed in. You will see a track point just like I was showing you in the PDF file. I want to track this part. Okay, so I will move this. First of all, this is very small. You can make the feature region, which is the outer one, little bigger. As bigger this is, it will be better. And then to move it, you can go in between the smaller square and the bigger square. In between these two squares, you can click your mouse and move it, and it will show you a magnifying glass, and you can track whatever you want here. Okay, maybe I will track his mouth. Okay, or maybe he will close his mouth, so maybe I will search his nose, and maybe the search region I will make it a little bit bigger as well. Okay, now if you will notice here, if I will start tracking, it will track only his position, because his position is active here. Okay, you will notice the position is active. So let me track it. How to track now? Once you select your tracker, you use it. Main source, or like motion source, is this footage. I'm using this footage. Okay, that's what you have to use. Okay, current tracker number 1, which is this one actually. So there is only one right now, so it will only current tracker is this. Usually you don't change these items. Only thing that you change is the track type, but right now I'm using a transform track, right? So I will keep it transform. Means like if anything is moving, its position or rotation or scaling, that's for the transform. So we are using transform, so that's we will keep it. Now here only position is active, so his position will be only tracked. Okay, now I have here edit target options. Okay, and options, if you will press it, it will give you different type of options, but usually you don't change this, you keep it as it is. Okay, so I will cancel this one. Edit target you do at the end of your tracking, when the tracking is done, so I don't have to worry about this one. Okay, at this stage. So once my tracking is done, then I will play with the edit target. Now I will go here, analyze forward. Okay, there is analyze backward, analyze forward. Analyze forward means if you want to track the area which is after your playhead. Okay, this is analyze backward. If suppose I was in the end and then I want to do motion tracking backwards, so I will use this one. Okay, now this is 1 frame track, 1 frame backward track. So this is the whole footage. This is one track, one track, one track. So you use these a lot. Why? Sometimes what happens, it's not tracked, so you manually move it and you keep on pressing this until it gets better. Okay, so we will see now. Here I will go here, press this, analyze forward, and you can see it is wherever my head is moving. Okay, the nose is moving, it's moving, but you will notice that at some stage I will go back. Now to go back 1 frame back, 1 frame forward, you can use page up, page down on your keyboard. Now everything was done, but here it moved. Can you see? It's not moving with the nose. Okay, the reason is that because the footage is very blurry, it's not that good. So what I did, I stopped the tracking, and then I forwarded the frame. So this frame was fine. Next frame is not fine. So when I came to the next frame, I will manually move it back here to his nose. Then I will track, analyze forward again. Going fine, going fine. Okay. There is a lot of motion blur, but still it is doing good. If there is a lot of motion blur, see, there was a lot of motion blur, so I stopped it. Because of a lot of motion blur, it moved from nose to somewhere else. It's not tracking the nose. So I will go one frame back and see the nose is fine here. Here it's not fine. So again, I have to go here and move it. So if you have a very bad footage, this will happen. Okay. So now I will do analyze forward again. Going fine, going fine. Okay, tracking nicely. Okay, now it's coming back. Okay, there is a lot of motion blur. Maybe it will stop, but still it's following. Till now it's fine. Okay, here it didn't move anywhere else, but you can see the nose is up. It moved to the lips. So I will go frame back. Here it was fine. Next frame it moved to the lips. So I have to move it back to the nose. Analyze forward again. This is happening because my footage is not good. If your footage is good, this will not happen. Okay, now here it will move, so I stopped it. So I will go back. Here it was fine. Next frame, this is not fine. So I will move it back to its nose. Now I will do again, analyze forward. Now it's getting better. Okay. Okay, here it's make, so I stopped it again. I pressed the stop button. Here, one frame back, fine. Next frame, it's not fine, so I have to move it manually. Here, okay, analyze forward again. Going fine. Okay, and I'm about to finish the tracking. Okay, now as I was about to finish the tracking, it got lost. So I will go one frame back. This is not good. This is fine. Next frame, this one I have to put it here, back to the nose, analyze forward, and then done. I'm done with the whole motion tracking. Okay, now I have to do the edit target. Now edit target means on which item you have to put this tracking on. So what I will do here is that I have here this image. If you will see that I have this picture of a hat. I want to apply this on the hat. So I will bring this hat on the top of this footage. Okay, you can see that it is there now, and then I will not do anything. Okay, but now you can see I cannot see the motion tracking anymore. The motion tracking is gone. Why it is gone? Because I moved from the footage to the composition. So if I will go back to the footage, I will get this information back. Okay, but in the footage it will not show you the other layers. It will only show you the one that you are working on right now. So I got this hat here, but I will not apply this motion track directly on the hat, because if I will do that, then I cannot scale the hat or do any kind of change in the hat. So it's always better you go to your layer option on the top, new option, then select the null object. What is the null object? If I will click on the null object, you will see there is this kind of a like a cursor, like a square. Okay, what is this? This square is basically like a shape, but it's will not render. If you will render the footage, if you will complete the footage or compile the footage, export the footage, you will not get this in the footage. This is invisible when you do the output, but it is always visible when you are working. Okay, now what I will do here is that I will keep it here, anywhere. It doesn't matter, because when you will track it, it will move to the tracking point. So it doesn't matter. Okay. Now I will go to my footage. Now I will take my footage here. I will go to the edit target. Here I will put, I have hat and I have null. I will not choose the hat. I will choose the null. Press OK. Then I have up like selected. Now what I will do, I will press apply button. When I will press apply button, it will ask me X and Y. So you say X and Y. You don't change anything usually. All the time you just have to press apply and press OK. Now if I will move, you can see that. Let me hide this hat. Just notice the what you call this null object. Just see this null object. Wherever he is moving, it is stick to his nose. It is on his nose, not moving from his nose. Okay, clear? So what I will do is that I will take the hat. Okay, I will go to the first frame. I will adjust the hat size, move it somewhere here. Okay, now I want the hat to follow the null. Okay, because null is already tracked. So what I will do, I will make the hat child. It will become a child, and I will make the parent null. So wherever the null is going, the child will go. So inside the my hat, this is, I can rename it to hat. Okay, so the hat, I have this small cursor here, this icon here. This is called parent pick width. This, when I click it and drag, it will make a line. So this line, I will take it to the null. When I will take it to the null, so what will happen? Null will become his parent. So wherever the null will go, hat will go. Okay. So now you can see in the parent window, it is null now. Okay. So null has become the parent of hat. So wherever the null is going, hat will go. Okay. But wherever the hat will go, null will not go. So I can now freely modify the hat. Nothing will happen wrong. Okay. That's why I didn't directly apply anything on the hat. Okay. So because now it is following the null, and at the same time I can do any changes I want. Another way to pick up the parent is one was I just showed you from the pick whip. Now other method is that you go in the list, you choose your parent, which is the null. So two methods, because sometimes you have a lot of layers, so you cannot go down below and then you can do the pick whip. It's always better you go in the list of the parent and you do this here. Clear? So now just see if I will press spacebar, it is stick to the person's head. Clear so far? Okay. So this is how you can do the motion tracking based on position. So this was position. Okay. So notice only his position is changing, but the person head is also rotating. Okay, it's also rotating left and right. So that means we have only tracked the position, we have not tracked the rotation. So what I will do next is that I will delete this null and I will make a new null. Okay, I will go in the position, the footage here. Now all the effects that you apply go inside your footage. Okay, how to find it? There is this arrow key. When you click on the arrow key, you see all the effects that you have applied here. One is transform, you have anchor, position, scale and everything. Okay, and one is the motion tracker here, the one that we applied right now. Okay, so I don't want this motion tracking because I want a new one. So I will select this motion tracking, the old one, and press delete. Okay, not deleting. Okay, I have to click here, I think, the arrow, then I have to go to tracker, then I have to delete the tracker. Now it is gone. Motion tracking actually was not, you don't have to press on motion tracking and delete. You have to open the motion tracking, then select your tracker one, then delete it. Okay. So far is it good? It is fine, everyone? Are you understanding the whole thing? Any questions so far? Okay. So now let's do the tracking again, but this time let's do a different way of doing the tracking. So I will go with the track motion, same what I did before. Clear? I will click here in the track motion. And now here what I will do is that this time I have one just like what I did before. This time I will not choose only position, I will choose also rotation, because before, as you see, only the hat was moving. Now this time I will not use only position, also rotation, because his head is also rotating left, it is tilting left and right. So rotation I will use it. Okay, so I will have two. So now I have, okay, so this is what we have here. Okay, Hashim, if you have any question, just please let me know, and I will help you with that. Track on audio, you mean? Track on noise? I didn't understand. What do you mean by noise? Track on audio, basically, it's not, you cannot track the audio. If you're talking about audio, we don't track audio. What we do is that we track the footage and then we link the audio to that tracking footage. Okay, so that's how we do it. Okay, now as I have 2 points, so I have to track 2 different points here. So I will choose the one left eye, then right eye. So I will take this one and put this on the left eye, and then I will take this one and put it on the right eye over here. Now, best way to track is that you choose that part which is not flat. Like suppose if I will choose this, notice it's all black. If it's all black, it will be very hard for After Effects to know what it have to track. So I will move a little bit here, and you can see there is a difference, black and white. So between this black and white, I can do the tracking. Okay, so always choose the part, and this is a search region. In the search region, also there should be a like a variation. They all should not be same. If they are same in the search region, it will be very hard. Okay. Sorry, in the feature like this is the search region, the small one, and this is the feature region, which is the bigger one. Okay, so I will do the same thing here. Okay, now I will start tracking forward. Okay, now it is tracking here, but you can see that I didn't copy the square, I just pressed the rotation button over here. So when you press this rotation button here, it automatically copies, like it automatically makes two like boxes, 2 track points. Okay, so you don't copy, you just press position and then you press the like rotation. So when you press rotation, automatically you will get 2. Okay, clear? Now this is moving a lot. Let me go a little bit back. This was fine here. Okay, but when I moved here, it is moved. So I will move it back here, track 1. Okay, somewhere here, and then I will start tracking again. Okay, it's fine, moving fine. Okay, so till now it is fine. I'm about to reach the last part. Okay, now I will stop it. Why? Because it moved. So if I will go back here, it moved here, so I have to move it back here and track again. Now it's fine. Okay, let me do one thing here. Let me track this yellow one from the beginning. Let me go in the beginning and track the yellow spot instead of white. Yellow spot is much better. Okay, it's tracking fine. If it will move, I will stop my, okay, here it moves. So I will go back here. Let's see from where it moved. It was fine here. Here it's not fine, so I have to move it and bring it here. Then track again. Okay, here also it moved basically, so I have to see where it moved. Here it moved, so I will go back here, track again. Here also it moves, so I have to go back here, moves. Okay, and also a little bit. Now I'm done with the whole tracking. Okay, it took a while. Okay, because the footage is really bad. If your footage is good, it will not have. You don't have to worry. Now your position and rotation both are tracked, because when you have two points, okay, position and rotation, you will have two tracking points, and it will track not only position, it will also track rotation. So rotation, position, position, rotation, both are tracked. Okay, scaling, this is the third option. Scaling will not give you 3 points. It will only give you 2 points. It's same. But scaling, when you use when something is moving closer to the screen. If something is very far away, it will look like it is small. When it's coming to the screen, it will look like it's getting bigger. So for tracking those kind of objects, you use scaling. But for us, we don't have to use it. Now we are done. I will go to edit target. This time I will choose the new null, because old null I deleted because I didn't want it. I will press OK, apply, press OK again. Now you can see that. Let me close all this here. Okay. Now hat, I will hide it. Now if you will see that this null object is now stick to his eyes. Okay. So what I will do now is that I will go to my hat, adjust my hat a bit, rotation I will give it to it, adjust it somewhere here, I think. Okay, and then I can pick whip, or I can go to the list and choose the null 2. Okay, and now if I will play the animation, you can see that it is also rotating. So much better than before. You got it? Before it was just moving slightly up and down. Now it's much better than before because it is rotating as well. Okay. Now, if you will see, there is a motion blur in his hair, in her hands, his hands, his glasses. Okay. So motion blur because they are moving, but there is no motion blur on the hat. So we have to put a motion blur on the hat, and that is very easy to do. How to do that? Let me zoom in. From here you can zoom. This is the zooming option. If you click here, go to 100%, and you will be 100% zoomed in. Now you will be able to see this whole scene here. Now I have his face. Okay, you can see it is blurred. Hat is kind of not motion blur. So what I can do, I can turn on the motion blur. I have here this option enables motion blur, if you can see on your screen. If you click here, it will be enabled, it will become blue, but still there is no motion blur here because I have to go to the hat layer. Here is the hat layer. There are 3 different options here: motion blur, adjustment layer, and 3D layer. So the one I'm interested right now is the motion blur. So I have to check the motion blur here. When I do that, now you can see it have a motion blur as well. And this motion blur is calculating with the null object. So if it moves up, the motion blur will be up or down, so depending on that. Now if I will play this, so you can see that it's bit motion blur is there. Okay, clear so far? Now there is like a color correction we have to do, so it will look like it belongs to this, because this is kind of whitish but the scene is kind of yellowish. That we will do when we will move to the color correction part, okay, color matching part. But right now here we will stick to the uh, like our motion tracking. Okay, so what I will do here is that I will go and save this one. How to save? Go to file, save as. Okay, then you have to choose your folder where you want to save it. Okay, so I will save somewhere in this folder. Okay, I will write the name track, and now it is saved. Okay, now we are done with this motion tracking part. This is how you can do the motion tracking. There were two motion tracking. One was the position, other one was the with the rotation. So with the rotation the result is much more better, but as the footage is very bad, you can still see the hat is kind of, you know, a little bit shaky. Okay, no, it's not like as it was used to be, as it is actually on the head, because the footage behind was too blurry. Now let's do one more motion tracking part, which is known as the perspective corner pin motion tracking. So I have this footage too. I will right click on it and then new composition from selection. It will make a new composition which is called footage 2. I don't want this name, doesn't look professional. I will press enter on it and call this one corner pin, or maybe I can write here don't sit. Okay, so it will change the name don't sit. So now I know this is about the don't sit. Now if you will see here, I have this footage of a bench, and if you will notice, there are some track points already. Some person put this track points. What are these white dots known as? These white dots are track points. Okay, one of the point in the previous footage was not fixed to like one area of the eye, was that because it's blurry footage, it's not clear, it's not a good quality. If it is a good quality, okay, then it will be fixed. Okay, now the reason why I used 2 points here, so that it can track the rotation also, because when you don't have, when you have a position, then you use 1 point, but if you want a rotation, you have to choose 1 point from here, 1 point from here, so that the rotation can be only tracked when there are 2 points. Okay, clear? So that's why I use 2 points, and it's a very bad footage, to tell you that. Okay, so it's like there is an issue with that. This is not for motion tracking. This footage is good. It's a very excellent, nice footage for any kind of like editing or any kind of video footage in advertisement, but it's not good when you're doing a motion tracking. Okay, so it's not meant for motion tracking. Okay, this actually is made for motion tracking. Okay, because the footage is very clear, plus the person had put the motion tracking points over here, so it will become easier for us to track. Okay, so you can do this. You can buy these kind of sticker from any stationery shop. They have the circle stickers. You can buy black and white. If something is darker, put the white color. If something is brighter, put the black color. Okay, so this is how we can do the tracking over here. Now this footage is very long. It's a very long footage. So what I want to do is that I just want to track only 20 frames. So I will go to the here you can see there are seconds. Okay, so I will go to the 20 seconds, drag my work area just like this. So only it will now track, or it will render, or it will show me this area if I right click on it and choose trim comp to work area. So now for the work area, wherever the work area is, that is only showing that, other part is gone. Now here I want to track this one. Now to track this, if I will track from here, it is very far away, so I will go in the end of the footage. Here it looks very bigger, so I will track from the end, and I will track backward, so it will go backward, not forward. Okay, so I will take this footage Now this time I will go to my track motion again. Okay, zoom out a bit. Now just see here, I will not use here motions or force. Okay, it's footage 2. Current tracker type is 1. Okay, I will not change anything. Track type, now I will not use transform. Before I use transform, here I will use perspective corner pin, because I have to track this whole thing and replace it with an image, with the image. Okay, so I will track this with the image here. So that's why I will use the perspective corner pin. So perspective corner pin is to replace the whole footage. You don't with some other image. So you don't need a null object here. Directly you can put on whatever item you have. So I will go in the perspective corner pin and click here. So now I don't have 1. How many I have? I have here 1, 2 and 3. Okay. So this one I have it here. Let me do one thing. Let me go here again because I deleted by mistake. Okay. So I have here number 1, number 3, number 2, number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. It's all going wrong. I think there is something issue with, because it should not be like this. Let me do one thing. Let me open a new project window again, because I think this is because of the memory or something else, and I will again bring this footage here. Okay, now I will make a new footage and make the work size with here. Right click, trim comp to work area. Okay, and then I will rename this footage don't sit. Then I will go to my track motion, and here I will use, instead of transform, perspective corner pin. Now it is fine. Okay, because just see one more very important thing. This is you can say like a sequence. It should follow the sequence. If it will not follow the sequence, your image will not sit on your track point correctly. This have to be 1, this have to be 2, this have to be 3, this have to be 4. Okay, otherwise it will not work. So what I will do, I will make the number 1 little bigger, drag this here. Okay, make the number 2 little bigger, also drag this one here, and this one little bit more bigger, drag it over here. I'm just randomly putting them in their positions, then I will change them. Okay, now I'm done. Now what I will do here is that I will now zoom in and start fixing them. So this one track point, what I will do here is that I will choose this track point here. Okay, little and search region I will make it a little bit more bigger. Sorry, feature region, and this one I have to make it more bigger as well. Okay, so that I can see the whole thing just like this. Okay, same thing I will do here. This one I will make it a little bit more bigger, and I can move this here somewhere in the middle. This one I think is fine, not that big issue. This one I will move it here down, make this track region more bigger, move it here. This one I will make it more bigger. As bigger you will make the feature region. Okay, and also you can move with the border. The feature region you can move with the border. You can go to the border, you will see this cursor, and you can freely move like this. Okay, so it doesn't have to be in the middle. Maybe I can move it here so that I can use this as a feature region part. Okay, so the key is that, because as this is all looks same, so it's always better to bring something which is breaking the, you can see that similarity. So things should not look similar. If they look similar, it will not track. Here that is fine. Now here it is all similar, so I have to use somewhere here. Okay, So this part is very tricky, so I have to make this first of all bigger. Okay, move this one here. This one I will make it a bit more bigger and bigger. Okay, and take the border of it and move it somewhere here. Okay, just like this. Now if I will put the image, when I will track it, it will track all these 4 points. And can you see this square? Inside the square it will put the image. So if it will put the image inside this square, so what will happen? This area or this black area or this black area or this white area of this tracking point will show, which is not right. I don't want only this area, I want to cover the whole thing. But if I will track this point, so there is no tracker point. The person who put the tracker point, he kept the tracker points here. Okay, so what I can do here is that the attach points. Can you see this attach point? I can go to the attach point. If I see this kind of cursor, that means it will move the attach point. Attach point can be anywhere. I can put the attach point over here. One. Okay, then I will go to this part. Take this attach point. Put this one here. Done. I will go to this attach point. Move it here. Done. I will go to this attach point. Move it here. Okay. Now you can see that the attach point is covering this whole thing. Now attach point have nothing to do with the search region and feature region when you are doing perspective corner pen. With the transform corner pen, story is different, but we are talking about perspective corner pen. In the perspective corner pen, you can move this attach point so that this can be a region, this can become a region to track your track your footage, and you can replace it. Okay, now what I will do, I will go here in the analyze backward because I am at the end, so I will track this one. So I cannot do a track forward, I will do track backwards. Okay, so I will track here backwards. Okay, now this will take a little time because perspective corner pen takes a lot of time because it needs a lot of memory. But my footage hopefully is not that big. It is like a 20-second footage. Okay, so it should not take time. So while it is tracking, motion tracking right now, any one of you who have question and wants to ask me? Okay, if you don't have a question, what you can do is that if you want a little break, like 5 minutes break, you can go and come back while it is motion tracking. Okay, so because I cannot, as it is a live, live session video, I cannot pause it. Okay, otherwise I have to open it back again. So I will keep it open. Okay, the stream I will keep it open. And if you want, you can close it, go back, but you have to remember the link. When you come back, open the same link and you will be there, because I think it will take a little time. Tracking is not automatic. It's never automatic. You have to do tracking by yourself. Just see in this footage, in the previous footage, we did the motion tracking automatically. We did the motion tracking manually. We put the or track points manually and then we track. Okay, but if you mean about if you mean by automatic tracking that it is following something is automatic, obviously. Okay, but the process like what we are done here or in the previous video, that was manual. We have to put the points by ourselves. Okay, but when it follows those points, yes, obviously that is automatic. That like, because that's the main purpose of motion tracking. So that's the main thing the motion tracking do. Okay, it detects the motion by itself. Only you have to decide the points. Okay, in some cases points are really good, in some cases points are really bad. So the point where the points are really good, then you will not have a like a huge like a difference. Okay, so I think what I will do is here is that I will not track the whole video because it will take a lot of time. I will track when it will till 18 seconds. When it will reach to the 18 second, I will stop there, which is around 2 seconds. Okay, just to give you an idea what it is, so you will understand what about it, and then you can find all these files in your like Blackboard system. It will be there, so you can download anytime and you can practice on it. Okay. So any other question? Okay. Now it's about to reach 18 seconds. So as soon it will reach 18 seconds, I will just press this stop button here. I will stop it and then I will trim this video from here to here, so that what will happen is this part will be only there. Okay. So I will once it will reach to 18 seconds. So I will trim the rest of the footage. So I will only keep from 18 to 20 seconds footage. Okay. So I will move the work area there. So this way it will be more easier instead of waiting for the whole long hour to get it rendered, because it's taking too long. Because footage, I think it's a heavy footage. Maybe it is like a kind of a like 2K footage or something like that. I'm not sure what is the size. Okay, and other than that, the tracking, I think, because perspective corner pin tracking takes a little time. Okay, because it have 4 points, not 2 points. Okay, so that's why it takes also time. And anyone can tell me the end of the class time? When does the class ends? Because I don't remember that. I know that we starts at 2, but we are starting at 2:45. So, but what is the regular time of ending, like the when the class ends? Okay, 5:40. So that means maybe I will add little bit extra time. So because we start a little late. Okay. So now what I will do, I will stop it because it's now reached at 18. Okay. Okay, 6:50. So maybe I will 6:50 is fine then. Okay, it's longer time. So now what I will do is that I have reached here to 18. So I will uh, move my work area from the starting till here. And if your footage is moving a lot, so what you have to do, the same thing, manually move it and then track it back. So sometimes that you have to do. Okay, if your footage is not good, because that's one thing. Okay. So I will move here, this track point, right click, trim to comp work area. Okay, so now I'm done with this whole thing. So is it 550 or 650? So please let me know, because I have to make sure. Okay, now I'm done with this part. Now you can see clearly it tracks. Okay, this whole footage. And what I will now do is that before doing the edit target, I will go to my layer on the top. Now in the layer, remember we went to layer, then we went to new, and then we use null object. This time I will not use null object, I will use solid. What is solid? Solid will give me a single color. Okay, just like in Photoshop you have solid, here you have solid as well. If I click on solid, it will give me this option. I'll choose make composition size. Okay, choose any color. I will click over here, so it will take my composition size. Okay, then I can choose any color, whatever you want. I will choose red. I will press OK. Now this red will be on the top. Okay, now I will go to the edit, and I will in the layer I will choose red solid. I will press OK, and then I will press apply. As soon as I will press apply, you will notice now I'm outside now. I'm not in the footage anymore. I'm outside the footage, and you can see it will open all these effects which I don't want to see. I will close it by clicking here. You can now see the red solid which I brought in is now become the part. It's a little bit moving in the end, which is fine, because I think I've it got a little bit moved. So let me trim this part from the ending. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, so now you can see this is been moving, okay, with my footage. Now instead of this red, I don't want this red corner like object here. Okay, I want an image instead of a red like a red you can say this solid here. I want some image in it. Okay, so in order to do that, now you can see I am moved automatically inside this effects and control area. Now I'm not in the project area. So this is the project. If I click the project, I will go back to the project. And if you apply any effect, automatically it will open an effect area, and you will see all the effects here. Okay, so if you do that, just press the project to go back. Now once you are here, okay, and what I will do at this stage is I will go to the red solid here. Okay, and I will make this red solid you can say container, a box. Inside that container, inside that box, I will put this image. I have this image. I want to put this image inside this, but right now I cannot put it because this is like a solid layer. I want to convert this into a container. To convert this into a container, so I can put this inside here. If I double click it here, see, it will open a normal footage. You can see that on normal footage, it does not open a container. So what I have to do, I have to convert this into a container. So I will go here in the layer, and I will do pre-compose. Pre-compose means a composition inside a composition. This is a composition, but inside a composition I will make another composition. So I will go to layer, pre-compose. It will ask me what name you want. Okay, so I will say sticker. Okay, and then it says, do you want to put all the effects inside? What are the effects? Let me show you one thing here. Let me do again. Okay, a layer, pre-composition, again sticker, I will name it. Now it is asking me, leave all the effects inside or leave all the effects outside. Oh, sorry, leave all the effects outside or leave or move all the effects inside. What effects it's talking about? effects that we applied on it. What effects we applied? Can you see this motion tracking? This whole motion tracking we applied on it. Okay. So do you want this to be outside this the container or inside? I don't want it to be inside. I want it to be outside. So I will use the first option and press OK. Now it will become a sticker here, and if I will open this one, and you can see that I still have the effects outside, not inside. Now I want to put this sticker inside this container. So how I will put it? I will double click on this sticker. Remember before when I double clicked it, so what happened? It opened a footage, but now it has become a container. So if I will double click it, you will see it's not a footage, it's a container. You can see a solid layer inside here. So what I will do, I will take my sticker, put on the top of it, okay, but the sticker is not matching the size. To match the size, what I will do is that I can go here in the layer, okay, select this layer first, go to layer, transform, fit to composition. If I click on fit to composition, automatically it will become the same size of my composition. Same thing I can do by right clicking on the this image, transform, fit to comp. So two different ways. Now I don't need the solid, I will delete the solid. Now I have to go back to the don't sit. So this is my tab here, don't sit tab. If I click on this don't sit tab, you can see that now it is not solid anymore. This is not the red solid anymore. This is the sticker. So if I will go here and play this one, you can see that it is now on that solid part. Okay, so this is called the perspective corner pin. Now what I can do here is that I can hide it. Okay, sorry, I can apply motion blur on it. I can take the motion blur, enable it, put the motion blur here as well, so that it will look a little bit realistic when you apply motion blur. Okay. Now there is color correction that you can do, but color correction is not the part of our topic right now. Next classes we will work on that. Okay. So now if I can do a little bit opacity here. To do the opacity change, I can click on this arrow, and you can see that my position I cannot change because this position is now positioned from my track point. So now I cannot do any kind of change in the position because I'm following the position of the track point. But opacity I can change, rotation I can change, scale I can change, or anchor I can change, because they are not affected with the motion tracking. Okay, like this. So I can go to the opacity, I can reduce the opacity like this. But if I'll reduce it, you can see that it is showing me those track points, which is not right. So I don't want to change it. I will keep it as it is. Okay, any questions so far? So I want you all to go on a short break. Just take a 20 minutes break. Okay, and after 20 minutes, you can come back and we will continue with the next part of the motion tracking, which is the same motion tracking like what we did, but we will use a different footage. Okay, we will not use the same footage, we will use a different footage. Clear so far? So just take a 20 minutes break. What I will do is that I will end this live stream for now. Okay, and then what I will do is that I will open the like a new live stream and send you the link on the WhatsApp and on the Blackboard, both of the places, so you can start watching that. So this one I will end it and I will send you the new live link. Okay, so I will just for now I will just stop it here. Okay, so after 20 minutes I will see you guys. Right now it is 4:10 p.m. so 4:30 we will meet. Okay, take care. So after 20 minutes we'll meet again.